Okay, this topic's about how to get a great result in your first week with a new person. Okay, you've obviously worked hard to earn the orientation, you've worked hard to take out that observation to then look after them, retain them and get them started. What's important now is that you're getting a phenomenal result with them throughout that first week. Okay, if you don't have a plan for that first week, then it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a great result, and ultimately that means you're just winging it. Winging it isn't giving them 100%, and that's what you said that you're going to do in that beginning part of the week anyway, okay? Now what I do, if I'm going to have a plan for my new person in their first week, I'm going to break it down into two areas, okay? It's absolutely vital I've got the list of things mechanical that I need to make sure that they do really, really well, and then obviously the list of mentality things that I really need to ingrain in them throughout their first 6 days, okay? If I start off with the mechanic side, it's really, really important that first of all, they have an absolutely phenomenal introduction, okay? If they've got a great introduction, more people are going to listen to them. Now I want to make their life as easy as possible, and obviously if they may have a fantastic short story, but if the introduction's not really, really good, they're not going to get any further through it, okay? So I need to make their life really easy. Alright, I need to make sure they do have a strong close, okay? If they don't have a close whereby they are really finishing off the pitch, then what will happen is they'll have really good conversations with people all day long, but then they won't actually make any money, okay? Impulses, alright, we work in an industry where there are so many direct salespeople out there, so many people selling things, that I don't want them going out there being robotic and then saying exactly the same things they might have said to other people, okay? So I've got to make their pitch different, I've got to make it impulsive so that they understand that it's not just a robot, it's not just a structure that they're saying, they've got to make it a bit more interesting for the customer, okay? Also, really important that they relate. I think it's it's a lot easier for someone to sell if they can have a conversation, okay? If I can teach somebody to go out and have a conversation, they're going to do a lot better and people will be more attracted to talking to them, okay? And then the other sort of main area is turning objections. Okay, they are going to get a lot of objections, alright? It would be foolish for me to let them go out and do the basic pitch without preempting what they're going to come up against and giving them a very, very simple way of turning kind of the basic objections. We can get more deeper into it later on, but I've got to have it planned that I'm going to teach them the basics part of it originally, okay? Cool, so that's kind of the mechanical side of it, and in my head I've got when I'm going to be running through each one of these things, but it has to get ticked off. Okay, if I don't plan for it, then there's a chance I might miss one of those out. If I miss that out, then it means that they're not going to learn it. Therefore, not going to have as good a first week as they could do. Okay. Other area, the mentality side. All right, it's probably more important than the mechanical side of it. Okay. And there's a few things I really want to hit on first of all. I want to make sure that I get them understanding the no. Okay, they've got to understand that they are going to get a hell of a lot more no's than they are yeses. Okay, so if they appreciate and they understand the reasoning behind each no, it's no longer emotional. It's just logical. It's just normal. Okay. The other thing is understand the different types of day that they're going to get. Okay. Now that can come down to explaining the law of averages in depth. But I don't want to be in a situation where the new person's like, oh, I'm just not having a very good day right now. I need them to remember that I've explained, hey, you may have a day where, we're not going to get busy until later on in the evening. This is going to happen, etc., etc. Now, if I've preempted that and I've really got them understanding it, they're almost looking forward to that day rather than looking at it as a bad thing, okay? Cool. I want to sort of teach them how to promote positives, but also find the positives in things, okay? I think a lot of the time, people will come from other working backgrounds where they don't have to be positive. If you work in retail, yes, you want to have a smile on your face, but if you work in a fuel garage, people will come in and get their fuel, give you money. You don't really have to smile at them too much, okay? I want to teach them how to be positive in every situation that they can, because they are going to ultimately do a little bit better if they are finding the positive in everything. So if I can teach them my thought process behind how I can see a positive in something that would otherwise be a negative, it's making my life easier more than anything else, okay? Also, I want to teach them how to problem solve, okay? I know it sounds a bit odd, and this isn't something I'm running big topics on. This is the sort of thing I'm talking about throughout the field. So I'm explaining to them, hey, all right, this is how I would look in this situation. We can find a solution in it, okay? Because I feel that I've got a sort of 6-day period where I can really teach them as much as possible so they can do as well as possible. In that first week, because that's the time period before they're going to decide whether they're going to carry on or not. Okay? Alrighty, so these two areas, I've got two possible at times I can teach them. It's either going to be in the field or it's going to be in the office. But at the beginning of the week, as leaders, if you're planning, what you're going to go through with your new person, you need to be thinking, right, at what point can I use my time effectively? Are there certain parts here where I can really teach them this stuff in the field, and then there's certain areas that I'm going to teach them in the office, okay? But I do feel like it should be every minute is used effectively, because then you're working smart rather than just working kind of hard and winging it and hoping for the best. Okay. Just to kind of summarise really, there's three I guess kind of main things that I'm looking at. Yeah, I'll break it down to two. Okay, there's two things that I really want the leader to be doing to retain that new person in that first week. Okay. First one is to set the right example. Okay, and that's in a few areas. Yes, they've got to set the pace. Remember, the leader's only going to do, or the new person, sorry, is only going to do 2/3 of what you do. So you've got to set the pace. If you want your new person doing 1s and 2s and 3s, you've got to be doing more than that, because that's setting the example for them. Okay, they'll follow it. Also, your behaviour, how you act, how you treat other people, that will inspire them to follow you or not. Okay, if you are polite, courteous to other people, they'll follow in suit. If you're not, they won't stick around. Okay. The other area as well is in building confidence. Okay, I've seen many a person that the pitch may not be fantastic, but they're confident, they believe they can do it. That will carry them a lot further than if they've got a good pitch and they don't believe they can do it. Okay, alright, so you've got to build confidence in, number one then, you, and also the product that you're selling. They believe the product is the bomb, they'll sell it, they'll do really, really well. They believe that you're going to look after them, they'll follow you. They believe that they're good, they'll do well.